Paul Breach's drama has recently come to surface once again, and it's got a hell of a lot worse. With Paul supposedly creating his last ever TikTok, addressing all the allegations made against him, debunking them all, apparently. So recently on YouTube, quite a small, not very well known YouTuber, Penguin Zero, otherwise known as Moist Critical, you guys heard of him, has been reacting to Paul Breach's TikToks. Honestly, I feel quite bad for Critical that he had to witness that. But Paul Breach here, aka a fully grown real-life butterscotch lookalike, has been under fire once again recently because of his actions. He got called out and exposed, and he wasn't too best pleased with Moist Critical's reaction of him, claiming that Critical is somehow a teenager.
It's okay that another teenager's made a video on me.
Which, coming from Paul, seeing the amount of extensive research that he's probably done on teenagers, is kind of shocking that you would look at Critical and would think he's a teenager, but fair enough. Also claiming the fact that he doesn't know who he is. But we'll get back to this whole drama in just a second, as I'm sure some of you watching right now are totally confused. And honestly, so am I. Who is this fully grown adult, and what is he doing on TikTok? Well, Paul Breach here goes by another name over on TikTok, Snapshot Eye, and honestly, he has a very dark past. Glancing over some of the lighter things real quickly, he's at the age of 42 and he creates TikToks. Not any TikToks though, mainly thirst traps. It's like he's fully living out his midlife crisis and is still somehow living that out to this day, with no sign of stopping. He's even been known to put in sound effects in his TikTok live streams of girls that aren't actually there, which when you really think about it is actually one of the most depressing things I think I've ever heard of. Having to convey to your audience and pretend that there's actually a girl in the room when there's not, in like this viral clip that everybody has seen at this stage.
Bless you, love. Bless you. Love.
Incredibly sad for a 40-year-old. But if you guys are feeling perhaps a little bit sorry for this creator, you really shouldn't be. As like I stated, his past is definitely dark, and Paul Breach here has breached a lot of things in the past. As I found online this massive wiki document of Paul that is honestly so extensive and goes into so much detail, with some of the key points stating this: knocking up a 17-year-old girl when he was 27, having a face that resembles a slice of Tesco finest breaded ham. Yep, that's a good point right there. Running away, getting lost in a field, and having to be tracked down by a police helicopter, ignoring his son for hours in favor of going on TikTok so he can chat to women 20 years younger than him. On one live stream, he was openly talking about crotchless kinkers in front of his young son. What a great role model. Licking the pictures and blurbs out underage girls on Instagram. Shamelessly attempting to gaslight thousands of people. Has a very weak grasp on the English language, with other things coming to full light as well, like messaging people underage, which is extremely disgusting and is nothing like we've actually seen on this channel, because some of the cases that we talk about, there might be a year or two in it. Not saying that is okay in any means necessary, but it's quite a big difference from someone who's in their 40s, and it is honestly disgusting. Paul here even has a dedicated website where people spot him, and when they see him out in the wild, they let the website know to keep it updated, which is insane. In fact, there's been countless times where this actually got so bad where people have seen Paul Breach in public, where they've started recording him, and Paul Breach has actually had to phone the police, whether they come and pick him up or they actually escort him away. There was a clip recently actually where he went to a Starbucks or a Costa, ordered a coffee, and people were around trying to record him, in which he then had to be escorted away by the police, which honestly is extremely hypocritical coming from someone who tells people on the daily not to worry about what other people say about him and that nothing matters, and seems to act also very chill. But soon as a kid whips out a phone to record him, that's too much for Paul and has to phone the police. Really? It seems like this guy does not have any type of grasp on reality. honestly, as wasting resources like this is extremely disrespectful in my opinion. The same again with the helicopter situation. An absolute waste of funds and police resources to protect you from what? Some 14-year-olds? Some 17-year-olds? If anything, I think the protection should be the other way around. I'm pretty sure at this point as well, Paul has also gone through countless TikToks, with his one recently having a staggering 908,000 followers, 10.5 million likes, with some TikToks gaining millions of views and others in the hundreds of thousands. And if you guys want a prime example of the fact that you don't have to make very good content on TikTok to get views, this is the type of content my boy uploads. Like, what does that even mean? Was that his honest reaction to a plant? That's worrying. And all around has just become an absolute meme at this point, especially back in the UK. And he got pretty well known and blew up at one point in time, although it seems like he's slowly been on the decline recently, which brings us back to the drama that recently unfolded a few days ago. And I'd quickly like to point out there's actually way more things that Paul Breach here has done that's honestly disturbing and disgusting. I do think a lot of other YouTubers have covered this topic so much that I just kind of want to focus on Paul Breach's reaction to Moist Critical calling him out the other day. So, on the 26th of November, with a video being posted by Penguins0, in which that video now has 2.3 million views, talking about Paul Breach. In Critical's words, this best describes him.
I want to put a very yucky TikTok creep on your radar.
With some of the people over on Charlie's videos saying this in the comments. Never thought I would see you speaking about Paul Breach. What a crossover. Had the misfortune of spotting him in public twice. Gave me the same feeling as a low budget horror game jump scare. Just misery with a underlining hint of dread. Charlie didn't even get past the first layer of the iceberg here with Paul. Paul has been an absolute menace to society for years now. Charlie needs to do a full lore breakdown. Now, hearing upon this news, Paul Breach was not best pleased, as he went onto a TikTok live stream to talk about how he doesn't care that he just got called out once again online. Although, to be quite honest with you, I feel like his tone of voice in this stream clip really says otherwise. Take a look.
Right, guys, teenage boys, it's okay that another teenager's made a video on me. I'll get over it, alright?
Who's Charlie?
I ain't got a fucking clue.
Oh.
Which honestly has a few things to just unpack here. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Teenage boys. Now look, I understand Critical is a bit of a short king, but my guy, he does not look like a teenager. In what world does this look like a teenager to you? Maybe this is the reason why he talks to so many underage people. My boy Paul Breach here doesn't see age, apparently. I don't know how well that would testify in court, but apparently that is very apparent. Secondly, claiming that he doesn't know who Charlie is, Moist Critical, which, if I'm being perfectly honest, if you're any kind of influencer and you haven't seen any of his videos, again, I just feel like I have to call complete BS on that. But oh, don't worry though, because it gets a hell of a lot better later on in the live stream. Now, he just talked about how he doesn't care about this, and well, he's gonna get over it. It's fine. Don't even worry about it, guys. But then later on in the live stream says this.
Means my face will be out there all the time.
Yeah, Ricky, I can't answer Toy's age, sorry.
Yes, a very normal response from a 42-year-old man. He did just say, my face will be out there all the time. Boom. But Paul, I didn't think you cared very much. That couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, Paul cares so much that he has created his final TikTok.
Secondly, if it's my last video, it's my last video, who knows?
Debunking the rumors and the weird accusations he has made about himself. Generally, those were his words.
The weird accusations I have made against me for the last God knows how long.
Now, before we start this final TikTok, which I couldn't be happier that it is his final, let me state this. I feel like with as serious as these accusations are, Paul has decided to sit in front of a camera and just talk. From the heart? I don't know. but he hasn't written anything down. He doesn't back up any of these accusations of him trying to debunk them with any kind of proof. Hell, he doesn't even really know what accusations he's going to talk about. He states here that this is on the top of his head, so whatever really springs to mind.
I'm going to debunk all or the majority or whatever I can remember.
And his best defense is it's his life, so he knows best.
Some of you won't believe it anyway, even though I say it, it's my life.
What? Could you imagine if Quite made a video like this, and this was his version of him debunking the allegations that were thrown against him? That all being said, I'm pretty mind blown right now that he even decided to upload this, but here we are. Let's have a little watch.
So prepare to listen. Some of you won't believe it anyway, even though I say it, it's my life. But yeah, we'll go for it. Right, first one. No, I never knew the family of the mother of my child. Wow. Also, no, she was not a ridiculous age when we started speaking. We worked together. Wow. 2, no, I did not R-word or anything like it with a lady on here who made up some absolutely ridiculous story time things for whatever clouty reason, belittling other people who go through actually serious shit. So no, that's another load of absolute rubbish as per usual.
Because of the seriousness of a lot of these accusations, it's generally mind-blowing that he hasn't decided to write anything down, or like I stated a minute ago, actually provide us with any proof here. And that also goes against the fact that there is endless documents, by the way, talking about all the things that Paul has done here. And if you think I'm joking, I'm really not when I say there's a whole wiki leak about Paul here that goes into every small little detail. Paul has decided to not counteract any of this with the same amount of time or effort, but has decided to sit down in front of a camera. And shortly after this little part comes on to blame you guys, actually straight up attacking the audience, which I must say is a rather bold move while trying to change your opinion about him. Nothing says, believe me guys, than attacking the audience. Good job, Paul.
Another one. No, did not get kicked out my father's house. No, I chose to leave because you guys who make up these ridiculous stories were making their lives hell.
Paul, you're 42. I think it was time to leave. What? It's like the real life stepbrothers, although even they are far too young for Paul here.
By sending posts to the house, getting people to turn up, people were going all over the place. Yeah, you guys, and then getting involved trying to speak to my family members. Did you do that? Yes, you did do that. Weirdly, why? I don't have a clue why, but it's stuff that you decided for fun to do. Same as every other house I've stayed at. The gentleman's house I stayed at. No, the police did not kick me out. You called the police pretending to be that gentleman. Because when the guys turned up, the gentleman in question was very confused because I didn't call the police. Oh, no, it's because you guys called the police and shared his address out online. They then dropped me off at an Airbnb and we've been friends ever since. Also, I did not write a tenancy email. You guys filled my details in, filled it in and wrote a tenancy agreement. Didn't you? Yeah. And then befriended and also shared that person's car and address out into the public domain while you shared my phone number and everything else into the public domain.
Paul Breach here really is the victim in all of this. This really doesn't become a video in which he tries to debunk everything, then it really is a fully grown adult sat in front of a camera crying and whining about everything that you guys have done, which apparently is so awful, but I gotta be honest, is rather a small price to pay for the things that Paul Breach has actually done. And in no way is Paul actually the victim in any of this, and to assume otherwise is absolutely crazy. Like I stated earlier, it seems like Paul Breach here has a rather terrible grasp on reality, even stating that he had to move out of his parents' house. Like I said, my guy, you were in your 40s. I think it was time to leave. If it wasn't for TikTok, I don't think Paul here would even have a job, which is very worrying for, again, someone in their 40s.
But if I'm so bad, and I'm so wrong, where is the evidence? Show me. Not edited, not cropped and all that malarkey. Where? Just show me where it is. debunk absolutely everything that you can say. Have fun, enjoy yourself. You'll keep on with what you do, day in, day out. Still me, yeah, I rant over. I'm sorry if you're having to listen to it all.
He ends the video here like that was some kind of mic drop. But then his last words stating that this was just a rant, which, yes, that's the first correct thing that you've probably said in this whole entire video. That was indeed a rant. You didn't debunk anything. And do I believe this is going to be Paul Breach's last ever TikTok? No. After all, I don't think he even has a real job. I think this is his real job. Forever making first traps on TikTok. What a legacy. With that all being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is someone that we've actually never covered on this channel, but I've wanted to cover for quite some time now. Sorry I didn't post as well the last few days. Been slightly ill, but feeling a bit better now, so that's good. Gonna be uploading way more content once again. So if you guys do enjoy this type of content, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button. With that all being said, hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.